So a few videos ago, I went ahead and taught you guys all about if statements. You know, if this, then that. You want to do something if something else is true or false. What a while loop allows us to do is continually do something over and over and over again until a particular condition is met. A real-life example of this that's very common is to show a menu. Maybe you want someone to go ahead and choose a menu item from a selection of menu items, and then after they make their selection, go back to the menu again to allow them to do something else. Now there's other use cases for while loops as well, but why don't we just go ahead and dive right in and you'll see the concept in action. Last time, we took a look at if statements, which are great for having a script branch out and do something different depending on some sort of criteria. A while loop is a bit similar to if statements, at least in the sense that it allows a script to do something different depending on particular criteria. But the difference is that a while loop will do just that. It'll loop. And by loop, I mean that the script will continue to run forever until a particular condition is met. Once that condition is met, only then will it stop running. So what I'll do right now is create a quick example, and then I'll explain what it does. So I'm going to open up our script from last time here, and of course I will empty it all out. We are starting from scratch. And let's do it. Now I'll explain this script in greater detail in just a moment, but what I'm going to do right now is run it, and then we'll see how it works. So I'll save it, then I'll minimize it to the background, and let's go ahead and see it in action. So as you can see, the script counted from 1 all the way up to 10. So how exactly does this work? Well, as always, we have our bin bash line at the very top, the shebang, and we're always going to have that. So as you can see here, we have a variable. That's the first thing we're doing. I'm creating a variable named myVar, and I'm setting that equal to 1. And after that, we start our very first while loop. And the way that we declare a while loop is we start it with the keyword while, and then we have a test condition in the brackets. And what we're doing is we're testing whether or not myVar is less than or equal to 10. Now at first, I set myVar equal to 1. So when this while loop runs for the first time, then the condition is met. The condition is checking to see if the variable is less than or equal to 10, which it is, at first at least, because I set it equal to 1. So in this case, the statement that I'm testing within the while loop is true. And as long as that statement is true, it's going to do something. What am I going to have it do? Well, first of all, I'm going to have it echo the current contents of the myVar variable. After it does that, I'm going to create a new variable, also named myVar, so it's going to replace the original, but I'm setting that equal to the current value of the original myVar variable, but I'm adding 1 to it. So at this point, what I did was I created a new version of myVar, and it's now equal to 2. After that, I sleep for half a second. I added that for dramatic effect. We can increase that to 2, 3, or whatever you want to do there. And then I type done, and that identifies that I'm finished with the while loop. So the first time that it runs, like I mentioned, myVar is equal to 1. The while loop takes a look at that. It evaluates that myVar is in fact less than or equal to 10. It's less than 10 in this case. So it's going to do something. It's going to echo the current value. It's going to add 1 to myVar, and then it's going to repeat, and the while loop will execute again. At this point, myVar is now equal to 2. That's still less than 10, so we're going to continue. Then it's going to print the current value. It's going to add 1 to it such that it's now 3, and then it's going to repeat that over and over again. And then later on, when myVar is equal to 10, then the test case here is no longer true. At that point, myVar is no longer less than 10, but it is equal to 10, so technically it's actually going to continue. At that point, it's going to add 1 to the myVar variable. It's going to become 11, and then the while loop will execute again, but this time, the statement that I'm testing for is no longer true. At this point, myVar is now 11, it's not less than 10, and it's certainly not equal to 10, and at that point, the while loop actually exits. It's finished. There's nothing more for it to do. The test criteria is no longer true, so we're going to be outside of the while loop, And at that point, the script is over because I don't have anything after the while loop. That's the last thing here. So then the entire script actually exits. So let's see another example. Let's clear out of everything here and start from scratch again. And then for the while loop this time, what I'm going to do is test for the existence of a file. And we're going to do this the same way that we would in an if statement, except we're not typing if, we're typing while. But the test part of it, at least that's the same. And since I want to test for a file, I use -f. And the file that I want to search for is test file. It's going to expect to find that in my home directory. That's what the tilde means. That's just, shorthand for home if you didn't already know. And that's all I want to test for. And while the test criteria is true, I want it to do something. And I'm going to echo the test file exists. Then I'll type done. And outside of the while loop, what I'll do is type echo the file no longer exists, exiting. So let's save the file, and I'll exit out. And what I'm going to do is actually open a new window here. And I'll just make this one a lot smaller. Just arrange these a little bit better here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is create that test file right now. And I'll just use the touch command for this. It doesn't really matter if there's contents within the file. We're not checking for contents. We're only checking for the existence of the file, which now exists because, of course, we see that right here. So that means if I go ahead and run the script, it's going to print the test file exists over and over and over and over again. What we've essentially created is an infinite loop. Well, it's not completely infinite because it is checking for something valid, and it's very easy to make this particular test case no longer true. So over in the other window, what I'll do is remove the test file. And as soon as I did that, the while loop exited. All right, so here we have the script again. Let's go ahead and go through it. Now this one is probably even easier or simpler than the previous one. And I actually didn't need the myvar variable right there, so I forgot to take that one out. But anyway, what we're doing here is we're creating a new while loop. We're testing for the existence of a file. And while it's found, we're going to echo the test file exists. In another window, I went ahead and created that test file. So as soon as I ran the script, then the test criteria in the while loop is true. The file did indeed exist at that point, so it went ahead and echoed the test file exists. After it did that, the while loop had another iteration. This time, the test file still existed. I didn't delete it yet. So then it printed again, the test file exists, and then it did that over and over and over and over again. But as soon as I removed the test file, the test criteria was no longer true, and the while loop exited. Then after that, the echo statement at the bottom printed. It let us know that the file is no longer in existence, so it exited out of the script. Now let's go ahead and make a quick edit to this script to make it even more useful. So it's pretty much the same thing, except this time I'm actually going to print the current date every time it runs, and also again when it exits. So let's minimize it and give it another run and see what it looks like. But first, we'll need to create that file because if it doesn't exist and we've already deleted it, then it's not going to run at all. Let's open up a new window. And let's go ahead and give it a run. So as you can see, the while loop continues to run over and over again, but as you can see here, we can see the time is actually counting up. So it's continually checking to see if this file exists, and we could probably argue that it's checking too much at once. I mean, it's literally filling an entire screen every second, which is going to be a little harder on the CPU. But what I'll do right now is just remove the file, And then it tells me that as of this date right here, the test file has gone missing. And it might seem like this is another silly example, but actually, sometimes it's really important that a file exists on a server, and maybe you want to be notified if ever, for some reason, it goes missing. If this were a script in production, maybe you could have this send an alert if that were to happen, but in this case, we're simply printing onto the screen the current status of the file, whether or not it exists. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this script before I close out this lesson, because while loops are actually fairly simple, so there's not a whole lot to go over here, and we'll get into better examples later like I've mentioned. But here we have the most recent version of the script, and just like before, it's testing whether or not the test file exists, and since I created it before I ran the script, it did exist at the time I was running it, and then it printed an echo statement just like last time. But this time, I included the date command in a subshell. So the date command is going to be run in the background, and the output of that command is going to replace the section where it shows a $sign and date in parentheses. And, well, it's just going to keep doing that forever until the file is gone, and then at the end, it's going to let us know that the file has gone missing. Now, to make this a little bit better, what I'm going to do is sleep for 5 seconds. There's really no reason to check a bunch of times every second. I mean, depending on the importance of this file, it's probably okay that there's a 5-second delay before we know that the file is missing, but it depends on what you're using the script for. But anyway, if I go ahead and run this script, we can see that the output is a little bit better. Every 5 seconds is going to print again and again and again as long as that file exists. So at this point, it's not as accurate down to the second, but it really doesn't matter so much in this case. I just wanted to slow down the output a bit, and I've done that. So let's go ahead and remove the test file. And as you can see here, it's letting me know that the file has gone missing. Now what I'm going to do is stop this particular lesson right here. And before you start the next lesson, what I recommend that you do is just play around and create your very own while loop. Make up something from scratch. This will be an opportunity for you to actually spin your creative gears a bit, see if you can make a while loop do something really cool. And once you've had enough practice with while loops, we'll go ahead and move on to the next lesson. So there you go. We've actually gotten past yet another lesson in this series, so at this point your Bash skills should actually be improving. Anyway, the next video is already up on the channel, so as soon as you're ready, I'll meet you over there. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.